Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is sixth video of our series of nuclear physics. We are discussing the chapter nuclear structure and basic properties of nuclei. Here in this video, we are going to discuss the topic binding energy curve. Binding energy curve. So the curve shown in figure is binding energy curve, which shows the variation of average binding energy per nucleon with mass number A. Here on y-axis we are taking average binding energy per nucleon, and on x-axis we are taking mass number. First we will see what observation can be drawn from this curve, and then we will see what conclusion can be made from these observations. So first observation is average binding energy per nucleon is positive for all the nuclei. It has small value for light nuclei. The value of average binding energy per nucleon rises rapidly for light nuclei, and it rises with the same pace up to a nuclei having mass number 20, and then it rises slowly up to a nuclei having mass number 56, which is iron, and it attains a maximum value here, which is 8.7 mega electron volt per nucleon, and then it decreases slowly up to uranium, which has value of average binding energy per nucleon is 7.6 mega electron volt per nucleon. So iron has value of binding energy per nucleon is 8.7 mega electron volt per nucleon, which is maximum value of binding energy per nucleon. And for uranium, the value of average binding energy per nucleon is 7.6 mega electron volt per nucleon. And for nuclei which have mass number between 20 and 180, shows small variation in the value of average binding energy per nucleon. So we can say that nuclei falling in this region has same value of average binding energy per nucleon, which is 8.4 mega electron volt per nucleon. So we can say that average binding energy per nucleon is small for light nuclei, and it is large the for the mass number between 20 and 180, which is called moderate mass number region, and again it is relatively less for heavy nuclei. So this curve can be divided into three sections, which we have done in this curve. This is the same curve. We are representing y on y-axis average binding energy per nucleon, and on x-axis we are representing mass number. This is the same curve which has been divided into three sections. One is for light nuclei, and second is for area of most stable nuclei. The nuclei which fall in moderate mass number region are most stable because they have more binding energy per nucleon. So this region is called area of most stable nuclei. And third section is for heavy nuclei. This is the curve which had been divided into three sections. Also, in the light nuclei region, we can see peaks for value of average binding energy per nucleon for even nuclei. What is the meaning of even nuclei? Let us discuss. Even nuclei means the nuclei which have even Z configuration. Even Z configuration. Z is number of proton and N is number of neutron, and also N is equal to Z. For example, 4,2 helium is an even nuclei because it contains two protons and two neutrons, which are even in number and also equal in number. Number of protons is equal to number of neutrons. So 4,2 helium is even nuclei. Also 8,4 beryllium is even nuclei which contain 4 protons and 4 neutrons, which are again even in number and equal in number. So 8,4 beryllium is also an even nuclei. Also 12 6 carbon is an even nuclei which contains 6 protons and 6 neutron, which are even in number and equal in number. So for even nuclei, we see peaks in the curve. Peaks in the curve means the value of average binding energy per nucleon is more for even nuclei than their neighbor. So these are some observations which can be drawn from this curve. Let us discuss conclusion which can be drawn from these observations. So first observation was the value of average binding energy per nucleon is positive for all the nuclei. So what is the meaning of positive binding energy per nucleon? Positive binding energy per nucleon means energy is required to extract one nucleon from the nucleus. Energy is required. Energy is required. Energy is required means we have to do work against some attractive force which is present between the nucleons when they are inside the nucleus. So we can conclude that there must exist some attractive force between the nucleons when they are inside the nucleus. This is nuclear force. This attractive force is called nuclear force, which is a short range force. Short range means it acts only when the distance between the nucleons is of the order of 10 raised to power minus 15 meter, or we can say that it is of the order of Fermi meter, because 10 raised to power 15 meter is equal to Fermi meter, or it is the size of nucleus. So we can say that it acts only when the nucleons are inside the nucleus. Also, nuclear force is generally attractive in nature, but it may become repulsive in nature. Nuclear force may become repulsive in nature if the distance between the nucleons is less than 0.8 Fermi meter. So we can say that the first observation is evidence for the existence of nuclear force inside the nucleus. Let us discuss second observation and conclusion made on the basis of second observation. The second observation was the average binding energy per nucleon is small for light nuclei and it is large for the nuclei falling in moderate mass number region, and again it is relatively less for heavy nuclei. Because average binding energy per nucleon accounts for the stability of nucleus, so we can say that light nuclei are less stable and nuclei which fall in moderate mass number region are more stable, and heavy nuclei are again relatively less stable. So why average binding energy per nucleon accounts for the stability? Let us discuss. Average binding energy per nucleon means energy required to extract one nucleon from the nucleus. So binding energy per nucleon, if binding energy per nucleon is more, means more energy is required to extract one nucleon from the nucleus. More energy is required. If more energy is required to extract one nucleon from this nucleus, means it is difficult to break this nucleus. If it is difficult to break this nucleus, means more stable is the nucleus. More stable is the nucleus. So more binding energy per nucleon means more stable is the nucleus. More binding energy per nucleon correspond to more stability of the nucleus. If binding energy per nucleon is less, means less energy is required means it is easy to break this nucleus and less stable will be the nucleus. So binding energy per nucleon accounts for the stability of nucleus. That's why we have made this conclusion that light nuclei are less stable. The nuclei falling in moderate mass number region are more stable, and heavy nuclei having less value of average binding energy per nucleon are relatively less stable. Now, average binding energy per nucleon rises rapidly for light nuclei. It rises slowly for nuclei up to a nuclei having mass number 56, and then it decreases for heavy nuclei. Why this kind of behavior can be shown by the curve? Let us discuss the reason. Before discussing this reason, let us discuss the concept of statics, the general concept of electrostatic. Let us discuss, let us say we have a system of two positive charge. One is Q and other is Q1, and it has separation R1. Then what is the potential energy of the system? The potential energy of the system will be Q into Q1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught R1. Now, let us say we have put one more positive charge here, and distance between these two charges is R2, and between these two charges is R3. Then what will be the potential energy now of the system? Now potential energy of the system will be Q into Q2. Two terms will be more in the expression because of interaction of these two particles and these two particles. This term is for interaction of plus Q and plus Q2, and the second term is for the interaction of Q1 and Q2. So Q1 Q2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught R3. So this will be the potential energy now. Now we can say that potential energy will has become more negative. Potential energy will become more negative on adding positive charge in the system. More negative means potential energy has been decreased. Potential energy has been decreased on adding positive charge here. On the other hand, if we add here negative charge, if we add here negative charge instead of positive charge, then there will be positive charge, positive terms, positive sign here. So we can say that now potential energy will become less negative. On adding the negative charge here means potential energy has been increased. Potential energy has been increased on adding negative charge in the system. So potential energy has been decreased means the stability of system has been decreased. When we have added the positive charge in the system, the stability of the system has been decreased. On the other hand, if we have added negative charge in the system, potential energy has been increased, means the stability of the system has been increased. So we can say that when the particle having attractive effect with the previous particle has been added, then the stability of the system has been increased. And if the particle having repulsive effect, positive charge in the previous case, the particle which have repulsive effect with the previous particle has been decreased the stability of the system. On the basis of this conclusion, we can show that the potential energy rises rapidly for light nuclei and decreases slowly for heavy nuclei. Let us discuss. Let us say we have a small nuclei, light nuclei, which have only one nucleon inside the nucleus. We are adding an extra nucleon from outside in the nucleus. As we are going on the more mass number side, as we are increasing mass number, we are adding the more and more nucleons in this nucleus. When we are adding one more nucleon here, it has attractive effect with the previous nucleon. Attraction is here because it has attractive effect, so it will increase the stability of nucleus. Increase in the stability of nucleons means binding energy per nucleon increases. Binding energy per nucleon increases. So as we move from lower mass side to higher mass side in case of light nuclei, then we are adding more and more nucleon inside the nucleus. So binding energy per nucleon will rise rapidly. On the other hand, in case of nuclei which have moderate mass number, nuclei which have moderate mass number, they have moderate size. Here are some nucleons. If we add extra nucleon from outside here, then it has attractive effect with the nucleons which are at a distance of the order of 10 raised to power minus 15 meter. And this is attractive effect. But it has repulsive effect with the nucleon which are at distance more than 10 raised to power minus 15 meter. With these nucleon, it has repulsive effect. Repulsive effect. So in case of moderate mass number nuclei, the number of nucleons which have attractive effect with the new nucleon and number of nucleons which have repulsive effect with the new nucleon are almost same. So net effect is less attractive effect. Net effect is relatively less attractive effect. So binding energy per nucleon rises slowly for this type of nuclei. And again for heavy nuclei, the size of nucleus is very large. If we add one nucleon from outside here, the number of nuclei which have attractive effect with this new nucleon, which are at the distance of 10 raised to power minus 15 meter or less, these number of nucleons are small. It has attractive effect with small number of nucleons, with less number of nucleon, and it has repulsive effect with large number of nucleons. So net effect is repulsive effect. So net effect will be repulsive effect. Some repulsive effect may counterbalance with this attractive effect. So repulsive effect will be, net repulsive effect will be there. So in this case, for heavy nuclei, the binding energy per nucleon will decrease because stability will decrease here. So this is the reason for the behavior of curve. It rapidly increase in the case of light nuclei, then it increases slowly for moderate mass number nuclei, and then it decreases slowly for heavy nuclei again. Also, from this curve, we can explain nuclear fusion and nuclear fission. We know that in this universe, every nuclei wants to gain stability. We know that light nuclei are less stable and nuclei which have moderate mass number are more stable. So these light nuclei combined together, this light nuclei add with one more light nuclei to made large nuclei having moderate mass number to gain stability. So this is the process which is called nuclear fusion, because this combination is less stable and this is more stable. So energy will be released in this case. A huge amount of energy is released. So in case of nuclear fusion, a huge amount of energy is released. Similarly, heavy nuclei are also less stable than the nuclei having moderate mass number. So heavy nuclei will break into two small nuclei which have moderate mass number to gain stability. These are heavy nuclei. It break down into nuclei having moderate mass number. So this is called nuclear fission. Again, the stability in the product side is more and in the reactant side is less. So again, in this case, energy will be released. So this was all about this lecture. The next topic we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.